So, what does the color of a pen cap tell us about the ink inside of the pen? Well, right here, I have a pink pen cap, and presumably the ink inside the marker itself or the pen should also be pink. Let's take a look. In this case, no, right? The pen cap is pink, but the ink inside is in fact green. And so with this kind of premise, we wanted to give you a little sneak peek into what we do on a daily basis. But investing is actually, and unfortunately, very similar to this pen cap in the different ink inside. What do I mean by that? If you look into your 401k or 403b right now, and you look at the name of any investment fund that you have in there, it'll say something like small cap growth or international large cap or real estate. And all of these names on these funds are trying to tell us something, right? They're indicating what the underlying investments in those funds should be. But just like our pen cap metaphor here, when you actually look into the holdings of many ETFs, mutual funds, different investments that are out there, what the fund actually holds can be very different from the name itself. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to cut over here and share my screen and tell you exactly what I'm talking about. We have a list here of 300 plus mutual funds and ETFs that are held in various 401ks that we assist on. And I'm gonna hone on this one right here, the Vanguard Small Cap Index, okay? Right, as the name implies, right, the pink marker cap, this fund should hold small companies, small US companies. Well, when you look at the actual holdings inside, you'll notice that yes, this fund does hold approximately 65% small cap or small company investments. But you'll also notice that it has other holdings as well, right? Notably, we also have a substantial portion, almost a third of the fund is exposed to mid-cap or medium-sized companies as well as these small companies. And then the other percentages also tick down from here. There are some non-US stocks, international, and even emerging markets. Very small amounts, but nonetheless, there are some holdings in there. Now, we could go through this entire list of 300 plus and kind of take a look at these differences. But again, the point being is, as an investor, you're trying to get exposure to certain asset classes, certain types of stocks, because you know if you can get pure access to that, it's going to lead to a certain investment experience over time, right? So it's really important that any fund that is being selected to be able to look inside that fund, look at each individual holding, and make sure that those holdings in the aggregate are correlating to the fund itself. I don't know that I would necessarily hold this against different mutual funds or ETFs, different investments that might be out there, right? They're doing their best to get exposure to the asset class that the title of the fund claims to be achieving, right? Vanguard's a wonderful company. We're using them here as kind of as an example. Very much a fan of Vanguard in general, but right, how Vanguard defines small cap may be very different than how a Fidelity or a Schwab or a Franklin Templeton or any other fund family out there defines small cap, right? How we are defining small cap here in our X-ray is also different than how companies may define small cap. And that therein lies another nuance here that's really important to understand, right? How do you define something as small cap? How do you define something as large cap or medium cap or international, et cetera, right? So again, we're not trying to point blame here necessarily. It's just to highlight that the devil is in the details, in the nuance of these funds. Any fund and what actually comprises those funds will impact your portfolio. And just like our marker here, a pink pen cap doesn't necessarily mean that there's not green ink inside. James, signing out. Thanks.